Hi, and welcome to 10-minute teacher tips and tricks from Teacher ER. No matter where you are, consult with Teacher ER. Hello, and welcome to Teachers Tips and Tricks from Teacher ER. Once a week, I will come to you with a video of 10 minutes or less of tips and tricks that can help you be successful in your classroom. The first tip I want to share with you is to make sure you plan for all scenarios at the start of this coming school year. We have a virtual scenario, a face-to-face scenario, and a blended scenario. If you're doing a virtual scenario for your school year, make sure you have your welcome and your greeting and everything in place, and make sure you have your procedures and everything online, your expectations for online learning. Make sure you have that all in place and ready to go for the start of the year. If you're doing face-to-face, the same thing. Make sure you have your expectations and everything in your opening and your start well laid out and planned for the start of the year. And if you're doing blended, you know that you'll need a little bit of both. And just try to make sure you have them both together and have a plan of action for sharing this out with your families, sharing this out with your learners, and sharing it out with your administrators so they can see that you're ready to go at the start of the school year. As with every school year, we always want to make sure we're starting off with building those relationships, establishing routines, and having great expectations. So make sure you know your children's names. That will let them know that you are there for them, that you appreciate them, and that you're glad that they're a part of your team, a part of your community. Also, make sure you have routines in place. Routines are very important as they set the framework of how things should be done. So if you set your routines for your classroom and have routines ready for your virtual, so the children will know what to do and how to do it, it will stop a lot of confusion at the beginning. So, for example, in your classroom, if you want them to sharpen their pencils, make sure you have a time of day that they're going to sharpen, a procedure for sharpening their pencils. Is it going to be between the hours of 8 o'clock and 8:30, or is it one student collects the pencils and sharpens them? Make sure you have a routine or something in place to help them figure out how pencils should be sharpened. Remember, you'll have to set up routines for your virtual platform and your face-to-face platform. Or if you're doing blended, you'll have to make sure that you have your routine set up for both. Expectations are important in the classroom because it sets the foundation of how we will conduct ourselves as a community. I used to have rules in my classroom until one of my children told me that rules were made to be broken. I was upset at first, but then I understood what he said, because even as adults, we challenge rules, especially if we feel that they are counterproductive to what we're trying to accomplish. So I set expectations within my community, within my classroom community, and the expectations seem to go a lot further than the rules did, because they were able to monitor themselves with their expectations, and they also helped other children in the classroom with the expectation. So make sure you have good expectations in your classroom, and make sure that the children understand them and that they can follow them and that it's agreed upon within the community. So here's my Teacher ER trick number 1, and this is the purple pen. I started using the purple pen probably right when I started teaching. Basically, it's used as a classroom management strategy. So if you know those children that have triggers or things or behaviors that you stay on top of, and that you know that you want to avoid allowing them to disrupt your classroom, send them on an errand And for me, my purple pen strategy worked. What I did was with my purple pen is I actually gave some to our principal, to our secretary, and to one of the teachers, and just let them know that, hey, if such and such a happens, I'm going to send this child down to you and they're going to ask you for a purple pen. What that person will do, either your principal, shout out to Mr. Pittsford, thank you. What that principal will do is stall the child for a few minutes, which give the child a little bit of time to calm down, and they will pretend like they're looking for a pen or something for you. And if you share it with a teacher, make sure the teacher is aware also. And the teacher can also stall and say, well, okay, come on and have a seat for a little bit so I can finish what I'm doing first, and then I'll get the pen for you. So just little tricks. This is one trick that can get the child out of your room before a situation starts. Give him a chance or her a chance to redirect, and give you a chance to, if that child is coming back, make sure you have a strategy in place for when they come back. And this is just one of the tricks that can help with that. The last trick I want to share with you are these praise and prompting coins. When I was in my classroom, I used them, and they were a pretty good idea because it allows you to either praise a child or redirect their behavior without really making a lot of, I don't want to say a lot of noise, but you don't want to make a scene that would embarrass a child. Some kids don't like being pointed out as teachers' pets, and other children don't like to be embarrassed in front of everyone. So I just had a few of them. Like right now, the Bitmoji craze is coming. This is just a little celebration one. Just you can just walk nicely by, do close proximity, put it on a person's desk. Here's one that says awesome, and one that says oh yeah, like you got it right. And if a person is doing really good and they're making a point, you can give them this one that says exactly. There are a lot that you can make. And then if you want to really work on correcting behaviors, still doing close proximity, you can go and quietly set this one at a person's desk. This one says stop talking, just to remind them that they're doing a lot of talking right now and they're not staying focused. And then here's one that also says focus. So make sure you focus. So you could just go and quietly set these on children's desk. And this one for our children who love to move, stay seated. Now remember though, if you give them one of these to correct the behavior, make sure you go back, and once they're doing that behavior, make sure you acknowledge that they are doing what you asked them to do. So those are some things that you can do, some tricks that will help you in your classroom. I would like to do these sessions weekly. If you have anything that you're interested in having me share or talk about, or if you want to just do a group meet, let me know in the comments below. Okay? Thank you. Did I say teacher ER? Did I share?